I mean, it's interesting because you touched a number of times there on education. And we heard it this morning from Tanny. And I know UK Active really has got a drive for this, and it's something that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
And that is the fact that schools are driven by SAT results. You know, they're driven by academic results. And one thing that you've been very vocal about is this idea of moving physical activity up the importance agenda for schools and actually starting to promote that. Because that social inequality piece, we can narrow that gap if we can get all schools engaged in promoting physical activity.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Greg. I mean, we have a serious problem in this country, and I think we're at a moment of inflection, and we really need to think very clearly about what we're doing here. You know, there's a massive obesity problem in this country. I'm sure everyone's aware of it. I think while we're on the subject of league tables, we're top of that table, by the way. We have a wonderful NHS system that is bursting at the seams because of some of the historical issues around the lack of physical activity and nutrition, by the way, because I'd include education of what people eat in this country. We obviously work with a number of schools, and you know, metrics are really important to me. I grew up with measuring success in sport all the time, but unfortunately the metrics have just gone completely towards academic results. If you're a head teacher now and you're sat there with an Ofsted report, you know, everything you're sort of aligning your aims and your targets and your objectives is all driven around academic results and perhaps not driven by nutrition, physical activity and sport. And I would urge the government, and hopefully some of the people that make policy are still here in this room, you know, you really do need to think very clearly about baking metrics of physical activity and sport, you know, into what schools are governed and processed by. Because if a headmaster of a school gets highly commended Ofsted report because of the number of hours a young person delivers physical activity per week, lo and behold, there'll be lots more physical activity in schools. And at the moment, I think that, you know, yes, of course, education is important. I've got 3 young kids here, and I want them all to do brilliantly at school and go on to university if that's what they want to do. But actually, I want them to be healthy and I want them to be happy. And I really do believe that we need to do something quite drastic. And it has to be from government. It has to be right from the top, but it has to be something that's baked into the whole school curriculum. You know, Tanny talked about 2 hours a week of physical activity. Not every school has that. Some schools have even less than that, by the way. So I don't think that's fair on young people. And there's way too much pressure put on their academic results and nowhere near enough pressure put on them having good education on what to eat and what constitutes good physical exercise. Because it doesn't have to be playing rugby for England. It can be walking to school. It can be anything. You know, it's just a question. It's something that we've really got to sort out immediately. And hopefully, after days like today, the right people in the right positions in office will sit that up and take notice that this is a serious issue that needs to be dealt with.